Okay, what's the next threat coming up to the European Union? Uh, let's take a look here. Uh, the next threat coming up to the European Union, as most people don't realize it, is Italy. Europe's investment community has barely had time to breathe a sigh of relief following Emmanuel Macron's victory in the French presidential election before starting to fret about the other latent threats from the Eurozone. Some investors have hailed the election in which Mr. Macron, a pro EU liberal, defeated Marine Le Pen, the Eurosceptic right wing candidate, as a sign that Europeans' economic recovery remains on track. Yeah, some recovery. It's about as big a recovery as the United States' economic recovery. All these fake recoveries everywhere. This follows the defeat of the anti-Euro candidates in both the Netherlands and Austria over the past 6 months, which also alleviated fears that the rise in populism across Europe could spark a breakup of the Eurozone. But many of Europe's largest investors are now turning their attention to another risk to their portfolios. That is a rapidly gaining momentum of the rise of Italy's five-star movement and its potential to upend the economic bloc. Well, I'll tell you what, the five-star movement's getting extremely powerful. Let me read to you a little bit about this five-star movement. The concern is that the five-star, an anti-establishment party set up in 2009 by Beppe Grillo, the Italian comedian and blogger, could win the country's next election, which is due to take place within 12 months. So it's only 12 months from now. They're coming up to this election. And the five-star movement's gaining momentum. The biggest risk in Europe is Italy. The euro area is not working as long as it fails to deliver growth. Populism will continue to grow. Italy has a corruption of problems. It has physical problems, banking sector problems, refugee crisis. The government in power has not been elected, and the prime minister has no political mandate. This is a recipe for big crisis in Italy. We are very concerned about Italy. Our view for now is the five-star will win the election next year. Recent polls have indicated the five-star is the most popular party in Italy, with the support of at least 32% of the electorate, compared with 26% for the PD, the ruling center-left Democratic Party. Although most large investors recognize that the Five Stars' political agenda remains unclear, they are concerned by the movement's promise to hold a referendum on Euro membership. There you have it. That's a big one right there. They're going to hold a referendum. And I'm going to tell you, if they allow the people to vote in Italy on whether they want to stay in the Euro, I don't think they're going to stay in the Euro. Philip Poole, global head of research at Deutsche Asset Management, Europe's third largest investment house, says, has the risk to the Eurozone's stability entirely passed? It hasn't, because the Italian elections are coming up and the Five Stars doing extremely well in the polls. Here you have the potential for an anti-EU coalition to be formed. The market has not really focused on this yet. And this is very true. They haven't focused their attention on this, and it's up and coming. So this is what we see coming ahead, and it's only a year away until this election occurs. I believe that that this will unnerve investors at a certain point in time, not too distant in the future. Too, it'll probably start unnerving them about 6 months before the election. They'll probably start seeing it ahead at that point. So this is the next big challenge for the European Union coming up and coming is Italy. Now, I believe there's another challenge coming up. I believe that over the next year, that France is going to become very dissatisfied with Emmanuel Macron and his policies, if I can call it that. The French people, they have in the past, there was something called the French Revolution that happened in the past. There was a woman called Marie Antoinette, and the French people were starving. And Marie Antoinette, they asked her, they said, "What should we do?" Marie Antoinette, they asked her, "What should we do?" And the people were starving. What should we do with all these starving people? And she sarcastically said, "Let them eat cake." It's like she didn't really care what they did. Well, anyway, they don't. This is true. It goes across the board. The rich people do not care about us. They want us to. They would like to see us starve to death or whatever. They'd like to keep their foot squarely on the back of our neck and keep us down, our face in the mud, groveling to them, the 1%. And things need to change in this world. Thank you very much for listening. Like and subscribe, and we will catch you in the next article. Bye.